Good morning everyone, how are you today? Hope that you are fine. Today we are going to continue our vocab and then we are going to go or to move for our second lesson in module 5, lesson 5b, my trip to Morocco. Now let me ask you, but before asking you, I want all of you to go and bring your student book, then open page 68 in order to start our session. Okay. Can I ask you, have you ever been abroad? Have you ever been to Morocco? Okay, I think Morocco, one of the most wonderful and amazing countries all over the world. Now here we are having a friend. Let's see what happened to her in Morocco. Are you ready? Let's move to slide number 2 in our presentation in order to see the text or to look in your book, page 68. So, are you ready? Please, I want all of you to hold a pencil in your hand in order to highlight or to underline the new words that we are going to recognize in this session. Let's start. My Trip to Morocco by Amanda Edmonds. Here is the name of our friend, Amanda Edmonds. Here is the character that's going to lead us to Morocco. I arrived at Marrakesh airport where I met my friend Emily, who had arrived the previous day. She has been to Morocco many times and I couldn't wait for her to show me around. Please underline show me around. Emily is French, which is cool because they speak Arabic, French and Berber in Morocco. Here are the 3 main languages in Morocco. As soon as I had dumped my bags in the hotel, please, I want all of you to underline dumped, which means to put something very hard and carelessly and very quickly. I had dumped my bags in the hotel room. We went out to grab a bite. Actually, if you are in a hurry and you are not having a long time to have your meal, so you can say, I'm going to grab a bite in order to have a very light snack or something kind of sandwich or something like this, very, very quickly in order to get your time. So we went out to grab a bite. Please, I want all of you to underline grab a bite. And we went to a souk. Yes, exactly as you heard, souk. So what does it mean, souk? Which is an open air market by day, but at night it turns into a bustling open air. I want all of you please to underline the word bustling, which means crowded and very noisy. Okay, so at daylight or in the morning or in the light of the sun, it's a souk, but in the evening it turns into a bustling open air restaurants with loads of food stalls. Loads here means a very huge number of. It was full of life and everything smelled delicious. I was enjoying the sights as we were walking through the crowd eating our kebabs. Yes, exactly as you heard, kebabs. The meal that you like to eat. Me too, by the way. And I didn't notice a man yelling at me. So what does mean yelling? It's something like shouting. He was a snake charmer. Please underline snake charmer. What is he doing? Let's see. And I almost stepped on his cobra because I wasn't looking where I was going. Actually, it's something a little bit scary because cobra here is one of the most dangerous snakes all over the world. And she was saying that while she was walking around in the souk and she was watching and impressed by everything that she is watching, by mistake she just stepped on the cobra and actually the snake charmer became very angry and actually a little bit afraid in order not to harm her. Let's see number 2. I had seen many people the previous night with henna tattoos. Do you know the tattoo? Do you like having tattoos? Okay. I had seen many people the previous night with henna tattoos on their hands, so I asked Emily where I could get one. So it was back to the souk. where a little old lady turned my hands into a work of art. She explained that the tattoos would go away 2 weeks later. Afterwards, while walking around the city, I noticed how some people hail taxis. Please, I want all of you to underline the word hail, and it means to call a taxi or to stop a taxi. So let's see what is the strange thing in their way. They don't stick out their hands, but they point with a finger or two to the taxi driver. Why? In order to refer to the number of people that they are going to go inside the taxi and go to their destination. So they are not stopping the taxi like this, but they are using their fingers in order to express the number of people who are going to get into the taxi. So, but they point a finger or even 2 fingers. I asked Emily why they did that, and she explained that it was a way to tell the taxi driver how many people need a lift. Later, we needed a taxi to get back to the hotel, so it was her time to try something new. So I gave it a try. We found a taxi pretty quickly, so I guess it worked fine. Let's move to number 3. I was a bit nervous, and nervous here doesn't mean it's very angry, but it means a little bit worried. I was a bit nervous about our next outing, but as it turned out, I had the time of my life. Please, I want all of you to underline this expression. If you are enjoying something very, very well, and you are loving it very, very well, so you can say, or very much, you can say, I had the time of my life, to express that you have been in a very wonderful time and you were in a wonderful experience. We went on a 2-day 4x4 can you read it? Let's have a try. Yes, excursion. Exactly. I want all of you, please, to divide this word exactly like I said. Excursion. Excursion. Okay? It's a little bit, we can say it's not very hard, but it needs a little bit concentration. So what does it mean? It means outing too. To El-Maadi. El-Maadi here is the name of a place. This is a place in the Sahara Desert, and it took us most of the day to drive there, but it was definitely worth it. It means that they spent a lot of time and effort, but it wasn't useless. It was for something really deserved that time and effort. We watched the sun setting over the enormous sand dunes. What are the sand dunes? They are a amount of very, very soft sand. They are moving, and they are formed by the power of the air. Okay? So then the real show started as the stars came out and filled the entire sky. Living in the city, I had never seen so many stars. It was magical. I fell asleep that night imagining how wonderful life as a Bedouin might be. Roaming the desert on camels and sleeping in tents under the stars. Actually, I want all of you to underline this. I fell asleep that night imagining how wonderful life as a Bedouin, the people who live in desert, might be. What are they doing? They are roaming the desert on camels and sleeping in tents under the stars. They are seeing wonderful scenes and so on. Here, I want all of you please to circle the word roaming here, and it means to go around or to have a walk. Let's move to number 4. A few days later, my dream came true and I got the chance to go camel riding, but it didn't really live up to my expectations. I want all of you to underline to live up to my expectations. Getting on a camel isn't exactly a piece of cake, but after a bit of a struggle, which means something difficult that you try to do with a great effort. I managed to get up there. I called my camel Goofy because he had huge teeth. You know Goofy, the cartoon for Disney? Yes. She just called the camel Goofy because of its huge teeth. We rode off, but after a while I felt dizzy. So what does it mean? A little bit like this. Okay? And I asked the guide, Moha, if we could stop. Moha told me not to worry as I would get used to it. He also said that camels are known as ships of the desert. Then it crossed my mind that I was feeling seasick, but in the middle of the desert. Okay, here we have reached the end of our text. Now let's move to our presentation in order to check all the new vocab that we have mentioned and in order to check also our concentration and understanding for these new words and also for the text. But before moving to the new vocab, I want all of you please to look at page 69. Here we are having a few questions. Let's answer them. Okay. Let's answer exercise number D. Find words or phrases in the text and match them with the definitions below. Put something somewhere quickly and carelessly. So it means to dump. Get a small meal means to grab a bite. Excursion means outing. Whole means entire. Wander or travel around an area means to roam. Not being as good as one hoped, not live up to one's expectations. Very easy, it means a piece of cake. Realize, it means to cross one's mind. Now let's move to slide number 3 here. Dump. To throw something away quickly and carelessly. Show somebody around. It means to point out interesting places or building to someone and try to explain the main points of this place or about this history or something like this, like in museums and in the pyramids and so on. To grab a bite means to get a small meal. Turn into, it's a phrasal verb and it means to change into. Sights, it means all the interesting landmarks in a place. And we said before that landmark means famous places that the country or the city is known with, and it may be natural or it may be something historical. Notice, to realize. Yell, it means loud, sharp cry of pain or surprise or happiness. Bustling means a place full of activity, which means a place which is a little bit crowded and noisy. Now let's move to slide number 4. Open air, it means taking place out of doors. Snake charmer, a person who plays music to make snakes move in a movement like a dance or something like this. Step on, it's a phrasal verb which means to press your foot on something. Tattoo, it means pictures drawn on skin by using henna by inserting ink inside a tool or something like this, and you are moving it across your skin in order to shape or in order to draw something in your skin. To hail, it means to call out and to attract the attention. To stick out, it means to be extremely noticeable. Lift, to pick up someone and move to a different place. Give it a try, it means to check something if it's good or not by trying it yourself. Excursion, it means a short journey or a trip. Worth, it means valuable or deserves something which is really costs you maybe money, maybe effort, maybe time, whatever. Enormous, it means very large or huge in size. Sand dune, it means hill of sand made by wind in a desert, and the sand always be very soft. Now let's move to slide number 5 in order to continue the new vocab. Come out, it means to become known. Entire means whole. Magical means beautiful, amazing, and delightful. Live up to somebody's expectations means to being as good as one's hope. Roam means to travel aimlessly. What does it mean, the word aimlessly? Without an aim, without a destination. That you are moving around without going anywhere, just looking around. Come true, means to actually happen. A piece of cake, it's an expression which means so easy to happen or to do. Dizzy, which means feeling unsteady or unbalanced. Cross one's mind, it means to think about or have an idea about something. Seasick means suffering from sickness or causing or something caused by emotions. You know something, if you are, what can I say, if you are on a ship and this ship is moving on the sea, sometimes you feel seasick. So what does it mean, seasick? You're a little bit not stable like this, and maybe you're feeling as if you want to vomit or something like this. It could be for a feeling or it could be for the sea, being on the sea. Gestures, it means movements of the body to express an idea. Impression means the idea of something or someone after having seen or heard them. If I'm telling you something new and I wanted to see your impression, so the impression here means your feeling or your facial expression to what I have said to you. Okay, so let's move to slide number 6. Check in. It's a phrasal verb and it means to arrive and show your ticket, papers at the airport or a hotel. Baggage, it means bags or luggage, uncountable noun. Hand luggage, we can say hand luggages. No, it's uncountable too. And hand luggage means the small bags that you can carry in your hand. On board means on a plane. Aisle seat, it's not aisle, it's aisle seat. The S here is silent, which means a seat by the corridor in a plane. Boarding pass, a card received after checking in to be allowed on a plane. Depart, to leave, which means departure as a noun. The opposite of them is arrival. Departures board, it means, departures board, it means a board shows the details, the time, the gate, and the destination that the flight or the plane is going to. Delay, period of time by which something is late or postponed. Announcement, spoken or written statement that informs people about something. Fasten, to do up or to tie it around. Take off, which is a phrasal verb and it means to leave the ground and fly. Now, after finishing the new vocab, let's move to slide number 7 in order to check our understanding to these new vocab. Choose the correct word between the two brackets. As soon as we had reached the hotel, we dumped, dug, drum, or gum our bags in the hotel room. Of course, dumped. A tour guide watched, remarked, asked, or showed us around on our visit to the museum. Showed. She didn't have time for breakfast as she was late for work, so she only caught, have, or grabbed, or cut a bite. The right answer, of course, is going to be grab. My sister enjoyed seeing the airport, sights, plane, seats during her holiday in Cairo last summer. Of course, we enjoy seeing the sights, which means the landmarks or the beautiful places that you can visit in a city or country. My friend and I went to do some shopping in an open heart, open-minded, open air, open door market yesterday. Of course, the right answer is going to be open air. Now, please, I want all of you to move with me to slide number 8. The market is whistling, singing, dancing, bustling with customers next Friday. Of course, bustling. Do you think, forgot, remembered, notice the difference between the two pictures? Of course, notice. The child smiled, whistled, sang, or yelled at his sister when she stepped on his puppy. Yelled. A snake, armor, charmer, farmer, barber is a person who plays music to make snake move. Snake charmer. She had henna tattoo or two in her hand. Of course, henna tattoo. Thank you so much. Now we have reached the end of our session today. It was a pleasure being with you. I'm looking forward to meet you back again in the next session. Thank you very much.